Every year, Cowboys Nation says that it's their year.
Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl.
Because we do always believe this will be the year. It doesn't matter what. We believe in our team. We believe this is going to be the year.
Are they bound to experience good fortune after years of misery? Today, here are 5 reasons why the Dallas Cowboys could win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years, and 5 reasons why they won't. Will win? Defense wins championships. Make no mistake, you almost always need a superstar quarterback to win in today's NFL, and good luck getting by with a mediocre offense. But it's also true that you need a good defense to win. As much love as Patrick Mahomes gets, he wouldn't have 3 Super Bowl rings without all that support from Steve Spagnuolo's lights-out defense. Tom Brady had a top 10 D for all of his 7 Super Bowl winning seasons too. So hate on the Cowboys all you want, but they have fielded one of the best defenses in football since 2021. And it all starts with superstar linebacker Micah Parsons, who is making a compelling case as the best defensive player in the game right now. Trayvon Diggs is an all-pro corner who makes up for his struggles in coverage with all-world ball-hawking skills. With Diggs missing most of 2023, Deron Bland stepped up and emerged as a first-team all-pro, leading the NFL with 9 interceptions and 5 pick-sixes, a single-season record by the way. The safety duo of Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson are a stellar last line of defense in front of the Diggs-Bland tandem at corner. DeMarcus Lawrence and Sam Williams add ample pass rushing depth to support Parsons too. Criticize Dak Prescott in the offense all you want, but defense wins championships. And without a doubt, Dallas has it. Won't win. Dak is a playoff choker. It's hard to trust that a team can win a Super Bowl when their quarterback consistently crumbles under pressure. Truth be told, Dak is no different than predecessor Tony Romo, a regular season stats machine who fails to up his game come January. Prescott's 2 playoff wins come against a meh 10-win Seattle Seahawks team in 2018 and against an 8-9 Tampa Bay Buccaneers squad in 2022. He is 2-5 in the postseason, with 3 of those losses coming at home as a favorite. In the regular season, Prescott has 202 touchdowns and 74 picks with a 99.0 QB rating. In the playoffs, he has 14 touchdowns, 7 picks, and a 91.8 QB rating. The latter is a stellar number, but it still drops considerably from his regular season performance. Sure, Peyton Manning didn't win his first Super Bowl until his 9th season. John Elway had to wait until his final 2 seasons to secure his pair of championship rings. But while those guys still had some big-time playoff moments and kept falling just short, Prescott has yet to prove that he can shine on the grand stage. That is the main reason that we cannot pick Dallas to win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. Not until Prescott actually shows that he can ice up in January. Will win? Jerry Jones has built a sustainable contender. It's safe to say that most Dallas Cowboys fans wish that Jerry Jones would sell the team or at least give up his GM duties. But you know, credit where credit is due. He is one of the best at the draft table. For the better part of the past 2 decades, the Cowboys have never been terrible. Since 2005, they only had a losing season in 2010, 2015, and 2020. And that's because their starting QB, Romeo Prescott, missed the majority of the year with injuries. Dallas has recorded 3 straight 12-win seasons. From Prescott to Parsons to Diggs to Bland to CeeDee Lamb to Ezekiel Elliott to Zach Martin to Tyler Smith to Jack Ferguson, Jerry just knows how to hit on all his draft picks. The trade for Amari Cooper in 2018 got a lot of hate at the time, but Jerry clearly knew what he was doing. Deals for Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore in 2023 also served as reminders that Jones knows how to fleece his rivals in trades. Bottom line is that Dallas is always in the mix, and it's because of Jones's quality roster construction. So, with this much star power and depth, you can argue that it's only a matter of time until the bounces go Dallas's way and they culminate in a Super Bowl. With the Cowboys turning out double-digit wins on a near-annual basis, they're gonna have a shot at a title. It's now just about breaking through those postseason nerves and inner doubts that they have yet to overcome. Won't win? Jerry never has the right coach. You can have all the roster talent in the world, but it doesn't matter if you don't have competent head coaching. The Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson-led San Diego Chargers were held back by Norv Turner's inept coaching. The Los Angeles Rams were stuck in no man's land with Jeff Fisher until Sean McVay came along. The great Peyton Manning didn't break through until future Hall of Famer Tony Dungy arrived. I think you get the point. Jerry was committed to Jason Garrett for 10 freaking seasons as his head coach. Just incredible. A decade at the helm with only 2 playoff wins, not to mention it took Garrett 5 years to win his first playoff game. Well, Jones is now repeating the same mistake here with Mike McCarthy. 4 years in, 3 12-win seasons and a whopping single playoff win again. against the 8-win Buccaneers. Wow. The last straw for McCarthy should have been when Dallas was crushed by the Packers on Wild Card Weekend. But because Jerry likes his coach on a personal level, McCarthy gets a 5th year on the job. I mean, heck, Pete Carroll and Mike Vrabel were also available. Does Jerry forget that McCarthy also ruined much of Aaron Rodgers' prime in Green Bay by getting outsmarted in the postseason time and time again? Well, don't tell that to the Dallas owner. He's just costing himself a Super Bowl by staying loyal to coaches who clearly don't have the ability to get his team over the top. Will win? Dominating in the trenches. A rock-solid offensive line and pass rush are also 2 key ingredients in building a championship team. Fortunately for Cowboys fans, Jones has aced the goals of building imposing units in the trenches. Their O-line is basically a top 5 unit on an annual basis. Future Hall of Famer Zach Martin has displayed 0 signs of slowing down, while 2022 first-round pick Tyler Smith has quickly morphed into one of the league's top offensive tackles. And if 2024 first-round pick Tyler Guyton comes as advertised, it might not be long until Dallas boasts the best OT duo in football. The makeup of the Cowboys O-line means that they get a 1,000-yard rusher every year. And if Prescott is to get over the hump in the playoffs, having elite pass protection will go a long way in achieving that goal. And while Parsons is a one-man wrecking crew in the front 7, Lawrence, Williams, and Osa Odigizua have also formed a dominant trio in the trenches. With sufficient depth on the defensive line, Dallas can easily win with a bully ball style and wear down their opponents in the big games. Won't win? Dak doesn't have enough weapons. The 2021 Cowboys were an absolute dream for Prescott as far as weapons went. Running backs Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard both hit over 1,000 yards of offense for starters. CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and Dalton Schultz all went over 800 yards receiving, with Cedric Wilson Jr. chipping in 602 receiving yards of his own. Dallas finished with the league's top-scoring offense that year, but the salary cap meant that the band had to quickly break up. Jones traded Cooper to Cleveland and watched Wilson leave for Miami. After the 2022 season, Schultz left to sign with the Houston Texans. Zeke was cut in a cap-saving move, only to be brought back a year later after Dallas lost RB1 Tony Pollard to the Tennessee Titans in free agency. Though Prescott had a career year in 2023, his lack of quality playmakers outside of Lamb was evident in the playoff loss to Green Bay, as well as the divisional round loss to the San Francisco 49ers a year earlier. Will win? The young core. Prescott isn't exactly a young man at the age of 31, but that's also not ancient for a QB. I mean, Tom Brady won his 7th ring at age 43. But another thing going for Dallas is the fact that most of their core is young and only in the early stages of their primes. Parsons, Lamb, Ferguson, and Bland are only entering their age 25 seasons here in 2024. Tyler Smith is only 23 years of age. Diggs will be 26 by season's end. And again, just think of Tyler Guyton, Monty Smith, and Marshawn Nealon, who can also grow into quality contributors. Even if Dallas were to move on from Prescott down the road, the rest of the core is still young enough to keep this competitive window open long term. Won't win? The 49ers roadblock. It took Peyton Manning forever to get by the New England Patriots roadblock. Cam Newton could never solve the Seattle Seahawks Legion of Boom. And so far, Josh Allen has not been able to break through the Kansas City Chiefs postseason roadblock. Well, Prescott finds himself in a very similar pickle. There's that one rival team that is always in the way of his path. Prescott faced the 49ers in the 2021 wild card and 2022 divisional rounds. He had 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and averaged less than 6 yards per pass attempt in each of those games. When Dallas met San Francisco in Week 5 of the 2023 season, Prescott was only 14-24 for 153 yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions in a very humiliating 42-10 defeat on national television. So, unless Prescott can somehow solve these 49ers, there is no realistic path to a Cowboys Super Bowl. And unfortunately for number 4, these star-studded and well-coached 49ers aren't going away anytime soon. Will win? The NFC is mostly wide open. If the Cowboys could just get past the 49ers or somehow avoid them in the playoffs altogether, well, the path to a Super Bowl is a lot easier compared to the AFC. Philadelphia Eagles are a force, yes, but Dak is also 9-4 against them in his career with a 100.6 rating and 24 touchdowns against only 8 interceptions. Philly might be the better team on paper, but this isn't an unstoppable juggernaut that Dak wouldn't be able to deal with in the postseason. The Detroit Lions are also scary, but Dak is a crisp 5-0 against them. And if Dan Campbell continues to outsmart himself in big games like he did at Dallas and in the NFC title game last year, well, the Cowboys might not even have to bring their A game to beat Detroit in the playoffs. Nobody in the AFC South should seriously scare the Cowboys. The Los Angeles Rams are a bit problematic, but they lost Aaron Donald, and Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford aren't getting any younger. The AFC is loaded with Super Bowl contenders, headlined by the Chiefs. But even the 49ers haven't exactly been that clutch in the postseason, so maybe Dallas gets to avoid the San Fran roadblock during a playoff run, thus clearing the path to a Super Bowl title. Won't win? Jerry Jones. I mean, it's kinda obvious. Jones hasn't won a Super Bowl in almost 30 years now because of his ego. He basically fired an all-time great coach in Jimmy Johnson simply because he didn't like JJ getting more credit than him. But he kept Jason Garrett around forever because he's a nice guy. He keeps Mike McCarthy around for half a decade and counting because, well, McCarthy doesn't challenge Jerry and his hands-on approach. Jones just won't relinquish GM duties to someone more qualified. He'll just keep committing to a guy like Dak, who is never won it all, promise changes, then run it back with the exact same group. Jones said that after the 2023 season, that his team would be all in. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think I've seen one all-in move made. But hey, do you think that the Cowboys realistically are going to win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years? Or do you think they're going to be stuck in no man's land for even longer? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. Man, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, well, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.